This is OwlUp, where learning happens in minutes, not hours. For a deeper journey, explore all our courses at owlup.co. Now, let's dive in. Welcome back to Chapter 4 of Write Your History, Transform How You See Your Story. Today's episode, Hidden Patterns, What Your History Reveals, is all about uncovering those recurring themes in your personal history that can offer powerful insights into who you are today. So, grab your favorite notebook and let's dive in. About half your daily actions run on autopilot, and you rarely notice which half. You wake up, grab your phone, answer that one coworker faster than everyone else, delay that same chore again. The twist is this: those tiny, repeated moves are quietly writing your life story. 40 to 45% of what you do today will be almost identical to what you did yesterday, and your brain prefers it that way. Buried inside that consistency are patterns: who you answer fastest, which tasks you suddenly remember right when it's time to start something hard, when you scroll instead of speaking up. These aren't random quirks. They're compressed summaries of your history, like shorthand notes your brain took years ago and never reviewed. Some of those notes help you move efficiently. Others quietly redirect you away from risk, conflict, or growth. The twist is that your digital traces, searches, messages, calendars, even step counts, often reveal these patterns more honestly than memory does. As you learn to read those traces, you're not just noticing habits. You're decoding the private logic your past is still using to negotiate your present. Routines, reactions, and random urges don't appear out of nowhere. They're stitched together from earlier wins, embarrassments, rewards, and near misses. That time you stayed quiet after being shot down in a meeting? Your nervous system may have quietly logged "silence equals safety" and filed it away as a rule. Criticism from one harsh teacher can echo years later as a flinch whenever feedback appears in your inbox. What looks like procrastination might actually be an old protection script. When you scan your history, you're not just spotting habits, you're uncovering the rules your past wrote about what keeps you safe, valued, or in control. Hidden patterns show up wherever there's repetition plus emotion. The repetition gives your brain data. The emotion tells it what to highlight or hide. That's why a single sharp embarrassment at 13 can leave a stronger behavioral trace than 100 neutral Tuesdays at 30. When your system spots similar conditions, similar faces, tones, locations, even times of day, it quietly pulls an old script off the shelf and runs it again. Researchers see this in lab tasks, but you can see it in ordinary sequences. You get a calendar alert, feel a tiny drop in your stomach, open your inbox, and, without deciding to, you check social media for a second. That whole chain might be your mind following a well-worn route it once mapped out to dodge discomfort. The content on the screen changes, the underlying route does not. There are three especially common kinds of hidden pattern. First, trigger chains, specific cues linked to specific cascades. A notification from one person, and you tense and over-explain. A certain weekday, and you start bargaining with yourself about breaking a commitment. The cue is the match. The rest of the behavior is the fuse burning. Second, meaning maps. Your private conclusions about what things mean. One failed project quietly becomes "public risk is dangerous," so you keep volunteering for back office work. One painful breakup becomes "I'm too much," so you soften every opinion. These maps aren't about facts. They're about what your older self decided would hurt less. Third, identity loops. Stories about the kind of person I am that keep recreating their own evidence. "I'm bad with money" makes you delay checking accounts, which leads to small crises that feel like proof. "I thrive in chaos" keeps you saying yes until everything is urgent again. Crucially, these patterns aren't only protective or limiting. Many are quietly powerful. The friend who instinctively reaches out when someone goes quiet. The manager who always double-checks assumptions when numbers look too good. Spotting supportive patterns lets you strengthen them on purpose instead of treating all habits as problems to fix. The skill you're building is pattern literacy, noticing not just individual choices, but the recurring situations, feelings, and interpretations that cluster together. Once you can see those clusters in your history, you have leverage. You can keep some, edit others, and experiment with entirely new responses where old scripts used to run. A subtle pattern might look like this. Every time someone adds a last-minute change to your work, you stay late, fix everything, then vent in messages, but never ask for different timelines. On paper, it's being a team player. In your history, it might trace back to the first job where no complaints got you praised while others were laid off. Another pattern. You only update your resume after a bad performance review, not after wins. That rhythm can quietly teach your mind that change belongs to crisis, not to growth. Think of a weather log. Scattered storms feel random until you map them and see they always hit after sudden temperature drops. Your storms might cluster after certain phrases. We need to talk. Locations, childhood home, or calendar entries, billing day. Instead of asking, why am I like this? You start asking, when does this tend to happen and what usually came right before? That shift, from blame to curiosity, is where genuine rewrites begin. Your future pattern literacy might matter as much as your credit score. As wearables, calendars, and AI tools sync up, they'll be able to flag early warning signs. 3 short nights plus 2 tense meetings might reliably predict a blow-up tomorrow. You could get a quiet nudge to reschedule, like a weather app warning of a storm front. The open question: who gets to see those forecasts? Only you? Or also your boss, your insurer, your school? Your history isn't a verdict, it's a draft. The same way a chef tweaks a recipe after each tasting, you can edit how old patterns show up in tomorrow's choices. Your challenge this week: each night, name one tiny moment where you acted differently than usual, and one you'd like to experiment with next time. That's how new chapters start. This was OwlUp, your daily step forward. This series continues with more chapters on OwlUp.co. Visit OwlUp.co to access the complete course and continue your learning journey. See you there!